Hello and welcome to the PLATEAU. This is a different kind of video, more about mindset. I find myself really busy working on implementing all the new things that I'm learning and feeling like I can't do a video because I'm not an expert to teach it. But like, when has that stopped me before? And it made me realize that probably a lot of other people are dealing with this kind of feeling of, I'm calling it producer plateau, where I'm no longer a beginner, but I am not anywhere near kind of professional levels that I admire. This is the time when all the inner demons just kind of pipe up and say, gosh, you're not selling things for thousands of dollars, so that means you're a failure. You'll never be as good as so-and-so, so you should just give up now. What are you even trying to do? I just don't want to talk to myself like this anymore. So I've come up with a few things. They're not steps. They're not tips. They're just things that can help me bust out of this. I hope they're helpful for you too. First of all, I hear a lot of my mentors in production saying, and other kind of self-help people say, hey, don't compare yourself to anyone else except who you were yesterday. It's like, that sounds really nice. But in order to learn anything, I have to compare myself to the standard of excellence. So how to live with this? Comparison can be a quick road, a fast track to misery. How can I still learn, get better at my craft, compare my work to those who are top of their game, and not feel crap about myself? And this is necessary. It's necessary. It's like, how did I learn to write my letters? How did I learn to have handwriting at all and communicate, right? I couldn't just take some random scribble and call it good. In order to communicate, I had to follow the picture perfect letter, right? So that somebody could understand it. I think it's very much the same with production, where in order to get across the things that I want to get across, I have to do it a certain way. Production is like a little bit more forgiving because, yes, if it sounds good, it is good. So there's many ways to get to the same thing. But I'm going to have to compare myself to others. It's just not realistic for me to say, well, I'm better than I was yesterday. Like, I guess, but also I want to continue to learn and grow. So being okay with comparison, not letting it just get me down. So that's kind of the first thing, is putting comparison in perspective. The second thing is pushing past this just by like having more stuff. Finishing things. Finishing things is so big because like I've been kind of bummed where certain things haven't been forwarded, or like they've been rejected either because the work itself wasn't a good fit for what the ask was, or it wasn't up to the standard of excellence that was required. And right now my catalog is tiny. So when I get a rejection, it's like, that's a huge percentage of my catalog that's being rejected. So if I keep going and keep making work, keep finishing stuff, that's better than like holding back and feeling precious about stuff and feeling like, well, they're wrong for rejecting my work and it's good work. It's like, okay, great. Keep making more of it. Just keep making more of it. And that's going to help me push through this feeling of plateau. Another thing is to just shift my own perspective about what is the finish line. Like, the finish line is not, have I made thousands of dollars from this music? No. It's like literally, have I finished this music? So many artists struggle with finishing work. This is one of the main things that I think we struggle with. It's easy to tweak and tweak and tweak forever and not put things out because we're afraid it's bad quality, or we're afraid it's just going to get us made fun of or whatever. But let's push past that, because you need a body of work to like back up your idea of yourself as being a producer. And when I say yourself, I mean myself. The main reason I'm making this is like a pep talk. Sheer numbers is going to help me. That way I can really prove to myself that my best work is always inside and ahead of me. I don't have to be like butthurt about stuff that got rejected because it wasn't good enough in one way or another. Just keep on making more stuff. Finish the stuff. It's all data. Like, the thousands of dollars will come later. Right now, hey, what did I learn? That's great. What am I going to do next? I have some ideas. So it's all a win. And that brings me to my next thing. It was like, acknowledge the wins. Acknowledge the wins. Did somebody give you a really nice compliment on your piece? Did you have like a good reception of it? So many wins. Did you learn something new? Like, did you level up your skills somehow in making this piece? Let's really look at this, because did I have fun making this project? What was the most fun? Was it really, really fun to write it in the first place? Was it fun to arrange it, to pick out sounds, to mix it, to add harmonies, to sing it, to perform it? Like, was that all fun? That's a big win, because when it comes down to it, what are we trying to buy with thousands of dollars? Fun. So, way to jump cut that line. If I could like take a peek into the future from a year ago at myself doing what I'm doing now, I would be thrilled. I would be so thrilled. Like, whoa, look at me go on this DAW. It's incredible. It's not a small thing. It's actually pretty revolutionary. Everything that has led me up to this point of the skill that I have now, even though right now where I'm sitting is like, I'm unhappy with it as a skill level. Change perspective. Look back at the wins. See everything that I have accomplished so far. And really celebrate that. We don't do enough celebrating of the wins, but I sure do a lot of stewing on the mistakes and the failures and the rejections. So I'm gonna just cut that out. Also, so important to get some rest and to just play. Either play with sounds, with no brief in mind, no project specifically in mind. Just play with your sounds, play with your instrument of choice, whatever brings you joy, and definitely get some rest. Like, don't be grinding on stuff. I find myself, when I'm grinding on something, I've lost all perspective of what's important. And it's time to just either take a nap or go to sleep, just walk away, take a walk, whatever, take a break, because that kind of grindy perspective is only going to get worse the more I grind on it. Also, understanding that there's such a difference between marketability and value. The guy who made Kool-Aid, I lived in Hastings, Nebraska for a minute, and there's a Kool-Aid museum because the guy who invented Kool-Aid is from there. He didn't invent this. It was a powdered drink mix that nobody needed, but he figured out how to sell it, how to make it marketable. And this is an actual quote in a letter that he wrote to his wife where he figured it out, right? He broke the code. All I have to do to make a great big business of it is to place a lot of ads. Marketability is so different from value, and understanding that my value is just separate from that. It's separate from commercial appeal. It's separate from how many ads can I pay for. This is the music that only I can make. Only I can make this. I am the only one who can make the music that is inside me. And what a privilege and incredible joy that I have some skills and techniques and talent and equipment and software to be able to do that as much as I am right now. That's humbling. And not everybody has that. So having that kind of perspective, that can get me over. I also have a lot of people who believe in me, including everyone who's subscribed. I'm honored, and just thank you so much for coming with me on this weird journey that I decided to take in becoming a producer. Don't let it get you down, this plateau place, because you're going to look back at this time and be like, whoa, that was a time of huge exploration, a huge experimentation. And I was making really cool stuff, and I was making some really crappy stuff, and that's all good. It's all okay. So I don't know if this was helpful or not. I'm glad to be talking about it, though. And feel free to leave your comments and let me know if this is relatable and what has helped you to kind of push past these feelings of like, oh, I'm never going to be good enough. I'm not good enough. And maybe this isn't what I really should be doing with my life. And I should get, whatever, all the things that the demons say. Let's get through this. Let's push past it. Keep making more stuff. Keep finishing more stuff. I hope you have a wonderful, whatever time of day it is for you. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.